Hi, everybody. Thank you all for coming tonight, for coming to the Institute for International Film and Financing. And my name is Jeff Wurtz. I'll be your moderator today, introducing our panelists. And we are going to be having an interesting conversation today. The first conversation that we're going to have is with Mark Davis. Let me tell you a little bit about Mark Davis. He's going to be talking about using the cloud, new technologies to save money in production. Mark is the co-founder of Scenios, and also he's a ex-William Morris talent agent. It was back in his day when he was pushing music, when music was a business. And he was also a founder in the early 90s of a streaming video company called Fresh Baked Studios, and went on to become a manager over at BT Media and Broadcasting in the UK. Followed by Mark will be myself giving a use case study on Scenios, on how our television show, Inside the Actors Studio, I'm a producer and director of that show for 17 years, and we've just recently switched to a digital workflow, and we are using Mark's Scenios product. I'm also a co-founder of Scenios, so it's a little interesting, but it's an interesting topic, and it's something that maybe we can discuss later on at the end of the panel discussion. Followed by me will be Steve. Steve Besnoff is from Media Services. He's the Vice President of Sales and Software Development. He's formerly of EUE Screen Gems and has been with various entertainment accounting firms and payroll service software companies, including Film Pro and Bonbon Entertainment. And then our fourth speaker is going to be discussing Creativity Matters and how the process influences finances. And this is going to be talked about by Carolyn London. Carolyn is a writer, a director, award-winning filmmaker, founder of London Squared Productions, and creative director at Nickelodeon. And our last panelist will be John Haddady, and John is going to be talking about mitigating the risks and managing your assets. John is the president and CEO of Haddady and Associates, Inc. He was formerly an executive vice president of the motion picture television production finances for Miramax Films. And Mr. Haddady has also served as a production rep on several Miramax releases. He's on movies including Academy Award-winning Shakespeare in Love, The English Patient, Emma, and Restoration, and is the chair of the Producers Guild of America on the East Coast. And with that, I'd like to first turn it over to Mark Davis on Scenios, and everybody will give a 20-minute discussion, and we'll hold our questions and things to the end of the night. Take it away, Mark.
Cool, thanks, Jeff. Hardest working man in show business right here. Not only does he produce, direct, and edit his TV show, but tonight he's also speaking, hosting, and I think that's one of his cameras in the back, recording the show. I'm really actually interested in seeing everybody's presentations tonight. I'm going to be talking about the cloud, specifically using the cloud in terms of film and television production. First, I'm going to give an overview, what is the cloud, what is cloud computing. Then I'm going to give a real-time demo, of course, hopefully the internet connection is working okay, of something called a cloud-based workflow. And then, since we're here at an IIFF event, I'm going to put that into context in terms of the financing aspects of film production. And actually, as Jeff mentioned, the first two presentations tonight are going to be about the cloud. So I'll sort of go into some of the theory, and then when I hand off to Jeff, he's going to show a real-world example of how he moved his TV show, the production of it, into the cloud, what that meant, and what the financial ramifications of that were. So, at a very high level, what is cloud computing? Well, there's a few different definitions around, a couple that I like. First one is the use of web services such as Google Docs and Office Live to perform the functions that were traditionally done with software installed on an individual computer. Another one that I liked was cloud computing is a new generation of internet-based computing where applications and data storage are provided to computers and other devices on demand, like electricity. So what I'm going to do is to sort of put that into context of film production. So, if you sort of step back and look at the evolution of film and television production over the last, let's say, 75 or so years, of course, we started out with film, moved into video, from an editing side, moved into nonlinear editing, and then, of course, over the last 10 or so years, there's been a lot of focus on tapeless and HD workflows. The next logical evolution of this, I think, is moving into what people are starting to call cloud-based workflows or cloud-based production. Now, this has only recently become possible as people are getting more familiar with the cloud, starting to use it, and it's only recently that you can start to apply these cloud computing technologies into a production environment. And I believe, and my team at Scenios believes, this will really transform the process of production, not only in film, which of course we're focusing on tonight, but television, commercials, corporate, and so on. So what I want to do is sort of move from the theory of cloud computing and show it, because I think most of us tonight are probably sort of visually oriented. So I think the best way to explain cloud computing in a video production environment is just to show it. So what I'm going to do is show you a technology that my company Scenios announced at NatP a few weeks ago. We're still in private beta. If you're interested in learning more after the show tonight, after the program tonight, we'll give you a password so you can check it out. But let me just go into my web browser here. So what I'm going to do is log into Scenios. It's all cloud-based. There's no software to install. So as long as you have an internet connection, you should be fine. Now, Scenios is it's a cloud-based production management platform. So it's a tool to help producers, whether it's you're an executive producer, supervising producer, and also production managers. For example, UPMs manage their projects, manage their film or TV projects. So basically, if you have a production team to manage, Scenios is a tool that could help. And I want to just put Scenios in perspective. I'm going to show you Scenios as an example of a cloud-based technology. Over the next months and years, I think you're going to see a lot of developments in this space. So this is one example of cloud-based production. So I, as a producer, I log in to Scenios and I see my projects, right? So projects I created and other people's projects that I'm connected to. Now, a project would be whatever a project is to you. If you're a film producer, it could be a film. If you produce a TV show, a project could be an episode of your show, and so on. So whatever a project is to you. So I'll go ahead and log into one of my projects. And first, there's a couple things you'll see. First of all, on Scenios in particular, you'll see quite a bit of white space in the design, and we try to keep it super easy and intuitive. Keeping in mind, producers, generally speaking, and we have the luxury of talking to a lot of them, are pretty busy, and they're not going to sit around and read a production manual, instruction manual that thick. So we try to keep it intuitive, so you can just dive right in and use it. So, for example, you see here's just a sample film project, and you see a bird's eye view of the production, everything from pre-production through production and post, and then on through your deliverables. And what you can do is click into any of these areas, depending on what phase of production you're in, and it expands a series of apps related to that part of the production. So, for example, one of the first things you do is pull together your cast and crew. So we'll see how the internet connection wants to work for me. And so you can see here, for example, there are 8 people on the crew, and then you see there's 3 more down here that are grayed out. So when a person is connected to the project, their icon shows up, so you can see visually who's connected to the project. So let's say I wanted to add someone new. It's really simple. Just click Add New. Click Add. And now I've just added someone to the crew. And so I can start to lay out my cast and crew. Now, Mary here has not been connected to the project. I can just sort of lay out my cast and crew. If I want to then connect her to the project, I just go to Mary, I click Invite, I type in her email address, I decide what apps she has access to, so I can set the permissions. It's really important to control the flow of information, and then I'll send the invitation. Mary will get an email, she'll click on the link. If she hasn't already set up a free account on Scenios, then she'll do that, and then she's connected to the project. So connecting the cast and crew is really simple to do. And once you have the cast and crew pulled together, you can really start to collaborate with them. So, for example, first of all, on the crew, some of the producers who are using Scenios, may have 200-300 400 people on their crew. So this crew area can start to get a little unwieldy. So let's say if you want to just filter by, the camera department, you can do that. So again, you can start to visualize, your team. Okay, so we've got the cast and crew pulled together. Now let's look at the script. Oftentimes people will share the script, whether you're using Final Draft or whatever it may be. People are emailing it back and forth, and there's version control issues. Who has the most recent version? Here, it's different. Everything is up on Scenios in real time, so you go to get the script when you need it. You know it's the most current one. So let's say I want to upload. Let's see. Let's say I'm using Screenwriter for my script. I can just upload it, and it shows up here, and then anybody on the cast and crew, if they have permissions, can go and access the script. Now, I'm showing Screenwriter here. If you use Final Draft, that's fine too. So in Scenios, we're supporting tools that people are already using. We're not asking people to change their workflow in that sense. So let's say everybody's got the script now. There's also a basic production schedule tool. So again, just a very simple visual calendar to keep the production team in sync, and you just click anywhere to add a new event. And there's actually going to be a little sync to Google button down here as well in the next few weeks. There's also a way to manage locations, and because we're based in the cloud, we're able to tie into other apps. So for locations, we're actually tied into Google Maps. So let's see, this is the address where we are now. Let's say this is the production office. I'll go ahead and add a location. And we're pulling data real time from Google Maps. And basically what we're doing is, this is where we are. Anything that you can do within Google Maps, you're no doubt familiar with, you can do within the context of your production. And let's say I want to add another location. Let's just say location 1. Let's give it an address. Add another location, and so the team can start to visualize where they're going to be for this project and start to visualize the different locations. There's also a tool for budgeting. So again, supporting apps that people are using. We're currently supporting Showbiz, Movie Magic budgeting. So again, you just upload the document. Now, clearly you don't want everybody in the cast and crew to have access to the budget, right? So if you created the project, you don't, generally speaking, I don't think that you want that. If you created the project, you'll have a little link here that says permissions. What you can do is just click there and add and remove people's permissions to the different apps. So it's really, you set the permissions when you invite them, and you can change them at any time as well. There's also a file cabinet here where you can just upload any sort of document you may have related to the production, whether it's PDF, Excel, Word, whatever it may be. So let's say we're moving into production. There's a couple main apps on production. First is call sheets, and it's actually, when we first started Scenios, we actually built a little call sheet app, but we went out and talked to a bunch of UPMs and line producers, and what we found is most of them have, generally speaking, have their own Excel spreadsheet that they like and works great, and they've been using it forever. So we didn't want to break that. So the idea here is you sort of bring your own call sheet template, you upload it, and then it's available to the team in real time. Now let's say you want to get the call sheet out to the team for an early call time tomorrow. There's messages and tasks up here. So let's say I uploaded the call sheet and I want to let the team know it's available. I can go in here to messages and I can post a message. Give the title, the body, send it to everybody or just certain people. And so I can electronically distribute the call sheet. Instead of having PA chasing around the cast and crew at the end of the day with a piece of paper, you just do it electronically through the cloud. And depending on how the user has set their preferences, they'll get the call sheet either by email and or by text message. It's up to the user preferences. So that's call sheets.